Most of us carry a spy in our pocket every single day, and honestly, we don't even know it. Yeah, it's your phone. And the story of what that phone knows and who it's telling, well, that's what we're digging into today.
Just let that sink in for a second. Every coffee run, every trip to the doctor, every late night walk home, it's all being logged. Your phone isn't just a piece of tech, it's become the silent biographer, writing the story of your life one tiny location point at a time. So why? Why do they want to know? Why does a simple game you downloaded or some photo editing app need to know your exact location to work? That's really the core question we're going to try and answer. So let's get right to it. What makes this one piece of information so incredibly valuable? How did a simple dot on a map become the key to a multi-billion-dollar industry? Well, the answer pulls back the curtain on a hidden economy that's all about you. This is where we get into the business model behind it all. See, it's not just about getting you from point A to point B anymore. Your location, your very presence somewhere, has a price tag. And believe me, companies are lining up to pay for it.
All right, so this slide breaks down the four main reasons. First up, the most obvious one, monetization. An ad for a coffee shop is just so much more effective if it pops up on your screen the second you walk by, right? Next, they use it for user profiling. Your visits to a gym, a specific place of worship, or a political rally, all of that paints a really detailed and, frankly, a deeply personal picture of who you are. Then you've got behavioral analytics. Retailers absolutely love this. They use it to track foot traffic, to see how many people walk past their store versus how many actually come inside. And finally, maybe the most profitable of all, resale. Your location history gets packaged up and sold off to data brokers, creating this massive, invisible market where you are the product. And this quote, man, it just hits the nail on the head. We're sold this idea of a personalized experience, a helpful feature that makes our lives easier. But way too often, that utility is just a Trojan horse for straight-up surveillance. Now, to be fair, it's not all doom and gloom. Location data can be incredibly helpful, but there's a really fine line between a useful tool and a dangerous weapon, and that line is getting blurrier every single day. On the one hand, the helpful side is undeniably powerful. Think about navigation apps getting you through traffic, or emergency services being able to find you in a crisis. But then there's the other side of the coin, the harm. You've got dating apps that can expose your location down to the city block, making stalking frighteningly easy. There's the chilling effect on our freedoms. Would you go to a protest if you knew your every move was being logged and tracked? And worse, companies can figure out incredibly sensitive things about you, your health, your beliefs, just by tracking the clinics or places of worship you visit. And this isn't some theoretical what-if scenario, not at all. Let's look at some real-world examples where the stakes got dangerously, dangerously high. Take Nike, for example. In 2019, their fitness app basically left a digital door unlocked. An unsecured API exposed the exact running routes of its users. And that's the key point here. Even if a company has good intentions, bad security can turn a cool feature into a massive liability, just like that. And then you have something like Clearview AI. They scrape public photos from the internet, which is bad enough. But it gets so much worse. They analyze the hidden location data in those photos to connect your face to a physical place. All of a sudden, a casual photo your friend posted can become a permanent part of a massive surveillance database. And with Amazon's Ring doorbells, all that footage gets bundled together into heat maps and shared with law enforcement. This isn't just about catching a package thief. It's about mapping the daily movements and patterns of life of entire neighborhoods, including folks who have done absolutely nothing wrong. So, with all these risks, you'd think the law would have a pretty tight grip on this stuff, right? Well,
The reality is that our laws are constantly playing catch-up with technology. Here's just a quick snapshot of the legal landscape around the world. Over in Europe, you've got GDPR, which is famous for requiring your explicit informed consent. No more hiding permissions in the fine print. In California, their laws give you the right to know what's been collected and to tell them to delete it. And India's DPDPA is really interesting because it actually penalizes companies for collecting data that doesn't have a clear benefit for you. Now, these are all great steps, but they all share one massive challenge. And that challenge is twofold. First, enforcement is just slow. By the time a case is finally settled, the tech has already leaped miles ahead. And second, we all suffer from what's called consent fatigue. We are so used to just clicking "I agree" on endless pop-ups that the consent we're giving isn't really informed consent at all, is it?
So, between lagging laws and this constant consent fatigue, is the situation hopeless? Not at all. Instead of just reacting to problems, we can actually be proactive. There is a path forward, a set of principles for building technology that actually respects our movements.
This slide really offers a clear blueprint for a better way. It all starts with number 1, minimization. If you don't need the data, just don't collect it. It's that simple. Second, contextual consent. A ride-sharing app should ask for your location when you're booking a ride, not the second you install it. Third, transparency. Give users a dashboard that shows them exactly what was collected and why. Fourth, audit data flows so we can all see where our data is going, especially when it's being shipped off to third parties. And finally, penalize misuse. The consequences for breaking these rules have to be serious enough to actually make companies think twice. And when you boil it all down, this is what's really at stake. Location data opens a window into our lives. It tells the story of who we are. If we let that window become a one-way mirror for surveillance, we don't just lose our privacy. We lose a piece of our freedom, our autonomy, to just move through the world unwatched. So this leaves us with a fundamental shift that we all need to make in how we think about this. For decades, tech has been driven by the question, can we do this? But it's time. It is way past time. We start asking a better question. Should we do this? And that's the question I'll leave you with, to think about the next time an app asks for your location. Thanks for watching.